أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتمسكين بولاية أمير المؤمنين والأئمة المعصومين عليهم السلام والحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله والحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدحته القائلون ولا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون الذي لا يدركه بعد الهمم ولا يناله غوص الفطن الذي ليس لصفته حد محدود ولا نعت موجود ولا وقت معدود ولا أجل ممدود فطر الخلائق بقدرته ونشر الرياح برحمته ووتد بالصخور ميدان أرضه ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من يوم عداوتهم إلى يوم الدين أما بعد فقد قال الله عز وجل في كتابه الحكيم وهو أصدق القائلين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لقد من الله على المؤمنين إذ بعث فيهم رسولا من أنفسهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم صل على محمد وآل محمد أما بعد السلام عليكم جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. I begin in the name of Allah, the most kind, the most merciful. It's due to that kindness and mercy that He gives us these opportunities where we gather in remembrance and glorification of Him Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Then I begin this sermon the way the commander of the faithful, Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhima afdalus salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Will begin many of his sermons by advising us, Usikum ibadallah bitaqwallah, that I advise you, O the servants of God, to be God conscious, God fearing and pious human beings. We have been discussing the fourth right, as is mentioned in the Risalatul Huqooq, the fourth haqq, and that is haqqus sam'a. And last week we discussed the first right of the hearing that it has upon us, and that is to keep it safe from backbiting, so that we don't go into gatherings where our ear hears the backbiting, which then affects our heart. Today we discuss the second right that our ear has upon us, and it is described by the Imam alayhi salam, and he says, وَالسَّمَاعِهَا لَا يُحِلُّ سَمَاءَهُ, and to keep it away from that which it is unlawful to listen to. That is a very broad statement by the Imam alayhi salam, that we need to keep our ears away from that which is unlawful for it to hear. There are many things that we can talk about here, but one of the most predominant subjects that comes up when it comes to things which are unlawful for us to hear to or to hear is music and singing. Yeah, some people may be depressed after today's lecture. Yeah, but we have to realize, that singing and music, majority of them are haram, and there are many traditions that tell us this, supported by Quranic ayat. For example, we get a tradition from our sixth Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, where he says, Al-ghina'u mimma aw'ada Allahu azza wa jal alayhin nar. He says that singing, al-ghina here can be used for singing or music, he says, is one of the things that Allah the Mighty and Exalted has threatened to requite with the fire of Jahannam. وَهُوَ قَوْلُهُ عَزَّ وَجَلَ, as he has purported or reported in the following verse of the Holy Quran. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي لَهْوَ الْحَدِيثِ لِيُضِلَّ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ وَيَتَّخِذَهَا هُزُوًا أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُهِينٌ. He says Allah has mentioned this or referred to this in the Holy Quran when He says, among the people is he who buys diversionary words that may lead people astray. This lahw al-hadith, diversionary words, has many interpretations. And one of them, according to Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam, is that it refers to music and singing. Yeah. Now, what are the exact fiqhi rulings when it comes to singing and when it comes to music? When it comes to singing or al-ghina, there is no doubt amongst our mujtahideen that singing is haram. Absolutely haram. That one cannot sing, one cannot listen to singing, one cannot participate in these type of activities. However, they say that singing praise of the Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt that is sung with a good tune but is not considered ghina is not a problem. Now the problem is identifying them, yeah? Because there are people who recite the Quran and when you listen to it, it sounds like a song. There are people who recite adhan and when you listen to it, it sounds like a song. There are people who recite manqabat and latam and all of these things and it sounds like a song. The general rule here is that if it sounds like a song, it is a song. Yeah? And I think that we are smart enough to be able to distinguish that. One of the key things our ulama tell us, right, is that when one begins to gargle their words in their throat, it is now changed from a recitation to a song. Now, I don't want to demonstrate it, yeah? But I might have to. You see, I can say ah, or I can say ah, yeah? I played with the words in my throat, yeah? And mashallah, people do that all the time, to stretch letters, to stretch words, to stretch things. When you begin to play with it, it now begins to be a song. Yeah? And this is where it begins to become problematic. Even when you listen to, for example, latam or manqabat or anything like that, and when your finger starts to beat with it, it's problematic. Yeah? Because now you are starting to adapt those qualities attached to it that are adopted with songs, like bopping of one's head back and forth. So we have to keep in mind that singing, there's no doubt about it, right? Whether you sing in the shower, yeah, whether you sing while you're driving, all of these things are considered to be haram. Now, of course, the recitation of the praise of the Prophet and his family is allowed as long as it doesn't diverge into singing. Now, this is up to urf, this is up to the people to understand and for the reciter to have some respect. But I know that I've attended many weddings, and when that recitation is taking place, right away I can say that this sounds like a song to me. Yeah? And I think all of us are smart enough to be able to decipher that. When it comes to music, forbidden music is the music that is suitable for entertainment and amusement gatherings. This is according to Sayyid Sistani. Even if it does not arouse any type of temptations. Permissible music is a music that is not suitable for such gatherings. So any type of music that is played in gatherings of entertainment, in gatherings of amusement. Anything that's pop, that's today played in the radio, would be played in concerts, would be played in different places of amusement. Those type of music is not allowed. If it is a type of music that is not played in these type of gatherings, then it would be allowed. Now how do we decipher that? Well, I can tell you one thing, don't ask me. Okay? Because one of the worst things for me is, Maulana, is this halal music or not? I don't want to listen to it, Baba. Yeah? The general rule, I think a lot of the people who are elderly, they're maybe stuck with some Indian songs from Indian films. Those are songs, those are haram. We have to accept that. Yeah? Now I'm not saying don't watch Indian movies. Yeah? But what I'm saying is fast forward the songs. Okay? But those are songs and those are not allowed. We have to be accepting of that as the reality. But when it comes to anything else, my brothers and sisters, a simple rule of just not listening to anything like that makes life a lot more easier. Okay? then rather having to play something and say, well, this might be haram, let's go to the next track, well, this might be halal. Why take such a risk? It is better to avoid it, and it will not leave such a void in your life that you will not be able to continue living. Yeah? There are many things which are, alhamdulillah, available to us, which can satisfy our souls, satisfy our hearts, that we can listen to. Why is music forbidden? Right? Now, without going into any scientific explanations or without going into these, we'll look at what the traditions tell us, right? The first thing that we are told from traditions is that music hardens the heart. All right? There is a tradition from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad. He says 3 things hardens the heart. Thalathun yuqsin al-qalb. Istima'ul lahu. That same lahu al-hadith that God talked about. Listening to diversionary words, or seeking game to hunt, or frequenting the sultan. Anyone who has power, you try and get closer and closer to them. These things, he said, harden the heart. So the first thing that we are told is that music hardens the heart. The second thing we are told, al-ghina'u yurithun nifaq. Yeah? That listening to music or singing increases in one's hypocrisy. Yeah? The third thing we are told is that it removes barakah from us. A tradition tells us that angels do not ever enter a house that has wine, a drum, a tambourine, or a flute within it. Even the prayers of the inhabitants of this house are unacceptable. They are deprived of barakah. This is what hadith tells us. Now, these are some of the reasons, right? Now, I can see that somebody will tell me, that it doesn't harden my heart. It doesn't cause nifaq in my heart, right? I think you're fooling yourself, to be quite honest, right? Because this is what the people who know better than us have told us. Right? If somebody knows better than us that this particular type of food is poisonous, I may say, well, Baba, it looks fine to me, but I still won't eat it. These are people who know about dunya and akhirah. And they have told us that these things are harmful for us, both in dunya and in akhirah. Whether I feel the effects of that or not are inconsequential. They don't matter. The responsibility that I have is to accept it, submit to it. Now for some, my brothers and sisters, it is like an addiction. I know, many people who feel that they are suffering when they don't listen. They don't know what to do. It takes gradual practice to get there. There is no doubt. Just like any other addiction, you have to find some way of getting over it. But if you have this, get over it. There is nothing good that comes out from a temporary enjoyment or a temporary high from listening to music. Inshallah, if we do this, then we are on this journey of again doing those things to protect our hearing and using our hearing for its correct purposes. Wa akhiru da'wan an alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد صدق الله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين مبير الظالمين مدرك الهاربين نكال الظالمين صريخ المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. اللهم صل على خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وصل على سيد الوصيين أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب. صل على محمد وآل محمد وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. ما صل على محمد وآل محمد وصل على سبتي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. صل على محمد وآل محمد وصل على علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة القائم المهدي. صل على محمد وآل محمد صلاة لا غاية لعددها ولا نهاية لمددها ولا نفاد لأمدها. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات وتابع بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك على كل شيء قدير. صل على محمد وآل محمد. Just to add before I continue on this second sermon, but when we talked about ghina, it's not just music, right? It's even today, like there are many latams that are out there, many matams that are out there, that they put the beat of the matam and it makes it sound like a song beat. Yeah, there are a couple of people who I don't listen to at all anymore because everything that they produce is musical, right? And we have to be smart enough to be able to distinguish that and avoid those type of things, whether it is religious or non-religious, and stick to those things which we are secure in knowing that this would be permissible. Today, I don't do this often, but today we're going to talk about is this week we're going to inshallah be commemorating the istishhad anniversary of our sixth Imam as-Sadiq alayhi salam. Salli ala Adwadi Muhammad. And I want to talk about his just a little bit about him because we don't get a chance to do so, and we owe a tremendous amount of debt to the ihsan that our sixth Imam alayhi salam has done upon us. After all, we are known as Ja'fari. And that in itself should be a sense of pride for each and every one of us. We know that one of the most famous descriptions or how we understand the Imam is from his spreading of knowledge and his ability to teach people that which they did not know. According to many historical accounts, that at one time there were over 4,000 scholars who used to come to the door of the Imam alayhi salam. And they were taught from all types of sciences, from Quranic sciences to traditions to jurisprudence, matters relating to theology, literature, and even branches of science like philosophy, astrology, mathematics, chemistry, and all of these things. There's a tremendous amount of wealth that is coming from our Imam. And the two Imams, the fifth and the sixth Imams, are known for those who really brought Islam from darkness really after the Umayyads and Karbala and brought Islam back into this golden era. I know that Ma'mun and the likes get credit for the golden era, but the golden era started from the time of our fifth and our sixth Imams, and then it became spread throughout the lands. When you think about the knowledge that these Imams or the sixth Imam alayhi salam possessed, there's a very beautiful account. There was once in a gathering a person by the name of Abu Shakir who came, and he was one who was a critic of the Imam, but he sat in that entire gathering, he listened to what the Imam alayhi salam said, and then he raises his hand and he accused the Imam of lying to the people. Yeah, he says, you are deceiving the people. He says, you are claiming, you are tricking people by making them believe in a God that you can't even see, and all you want is affection and love and people to follow you. And your aim, the Imam says, is the man, Abu Shakir said, your aim is to become wealthy, and so you're trying to trick people. And the Imam alayhi salam replies back very beautifully. He says, oh Abu Shakir, your accusations that I want money, position, and a comfortable life would have been true if I was living like a caliph. Yeah? He says, you have seen today that I've eaten a few morsels of bread only and nothing else. He says, Abu Shakir, know that if I wanted to acquire wealth and have a good life, as you say, I would have earned tremendous amount of money by doing chemistry. Yeah? He says, if I wanted to earn even more money, I would have gone into business, the Imam says, for I know every route that is successful, from where to travel from Medina to Yemen to Damascus. He says, if I wanted to make money, there would have been many other ways to make money than by teaching religion. You know, it's a very beautiful account that I think resonates really well for many people and many of us. The beautiful aspect about the life or the teaching of the Imam, when you think about the people who were interested in learning at that time, it tells us a lot about the era in which the Imam alayhi salam lived in. You know, the first thing that we gather from this is that there was a desire from the people to learn. The fact that so many people were coming to the door of the Imam, that showed what type of intellectual era that the Imam alayhi salam lived in. And I think that in itself is making a minor resurgence today. You know, that today, more so than ever, I feel there is a desire for people to learn and to improve their lives. And alhamdulillah, inshallah, we will once again resonate what the Imam alayhi salam taught us. And also there existed, from what we see, right? Like, it was during the time of our sixth Imam and after that we see the four Sunni madhahib come up, right? The Hanafi, we know that he was a student of the Imam alayhi salam. Malik was born 10 years after the Imam. Shafi'i was born 5 years or 2 years after the Imam even passed away or was martyred. And then you have the Hanbali who came 16 years after the Imam. But all of these tell us that there was freedom of thought that was also there during the time of the Imam. Right? That it wasn't that it was only my way or the highway. The Imam allowed people to question him. And I think that that's one of the most noblest ways of understanding what knowledge is about. That when you have the source, you go to the source, but the source will allow you to question them and allow you to discuss with them. One of the points that I want to end with is that when we think about these different madhahib that are there, right? When we think about Hanafis and Malikis and Shafi'is and Hanbalis, never in our mind should we think that Ja'fari is in line with them. Yeah? We shouldn't. Don't ever make that mistake. When they say there are 5 schools of thought, no, Baba, there is one and then 4 branched off from that one. Yeah? Remember that. Because Ja'fari always came first. Yeah? We have mentioned all of these madhahib, they came after. Yeah? They came after and the resurgence came after. And this is a mistake I think sometimes we make, to think that they are on par with us. They are not. Right? They are the students of Jaffer as-Sadiq alayhi salam. Yeah? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And I know we've heard of this anecdote, but I love this anecdote. It's about Allama Hilli. Yeah? And many of you may have heard of it, some of you may have not, but it's one of the coolest stories you'll find. Yeah? Allama Hilli was summoned by the king of his time. Yeah? And he went to the king's castle. And what he did, and in that time the king was having trouble, so he called all the 4 madhahib, he couldn't get the answer. They said, well, there's this Jaffer, he called him. Yeah? But he said, we heard he's a little bit, cuckoo a little bit, But they said, call him if you want, right? So he walked in, and what he did was he picked up his slippers and he carried them under his arms. Now you don't do that to go see the king, And he came in front of the king and he didn't bow in front of the king. And the king said, why aren't you bowing? He says, I only bow to God. I don't bow to man. So the king looked at him and the people started to snicker and laugh and look at this man holding his shoes under his arms. So the king inquired. He said, why are you holding your shoes in your arms? He says, oh king. He's like, I heard a hadith, that one time during the Prophet's life, the Prophet left his shoes outside and somebody from the Hanafis came and he stole the Prophet's shoes and ran away. He said, I was afraid and knowing that there are Hanafis here, that they would steal my shoes and run away. So the Hanafis got upset. They said, wait a minute, how is that possible? We didn't start until 150 years after Rasulullah. He said, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah? He said it was the Malikis who did it. Yeah? The Malikis took it. And he said the Malikis got upset. They said, no, we came even after. He said, I apologize, I think it was the Shafi'is who did it. Yeah? And again the Shafi'is got upset. He says, no, it wasn't the Shafi'is. He said, oh, then it must be the Hanbali. The Hanbalis got upset. And so he said to him, O king, these people claim to be the vanguards of Islam. yet they follow those who were not even around at the Prophet's time. And they accuse us of being Rafidi. Yeah? They accuse us of being rejectors, while we follow those who were raised in the house of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Don't ever be ashamed to be a Ja'fari. Yeah? It is a badge of honor that we are from that madhab, yeah, where others came to learn at the doorstep of Imam alayhi salam. And this Imam that we are going to be honoring in the next coming days, inshallah, deserves all the honor that we can give him. Wa akhiru da'wan and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal asr innal insana lafi khusr. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العلي العظيم